Hello and welcome to Aaron's Review. For Aaron's Review, it's award season, and so I am reviewing every single film that's nominated for an Oscar. Today's Oscar nominated film is Wicked. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a smaller film. It hasn't gotten much press, and I think that it needs to be given more of a voice. So I'm here to help with that, just in case you've never heard of this little film called Wicked. Dad jokes for you, sarcasm. Obviously, we all know what Wicked is. Here's how it goes, everybody. I am going to give you a 1 minute summary, just summarizing the film for you, so spoiler free, so you know what it's about. And I only have a minute to do it, so like as if I'm talking to my friend, I just tell you really quickly what it's about. Then I'll have a 1 minute review, same thing, off the top of my head, just a minute to tell you what I thought of the film. And then we'll have an erroneous thought, and that erroneous thought, my name is Aaron, so erroneous Aaron, typically either about the film, inspired by the film, or about Oscars in general in relation to the film. Oh, and then I'll tell you if it's for me, not for me. If I liked it, I don't like to tell you 4 stars, 5 stars, A+. I just want to tell you if it's for me, not for me. Art is subjective. Opinions are subjective, right? Like it's just teach their own. It's for fun. So this is just for fun. Let you know if it's for me, not for me, and then I'll tell you what I would nominate Wicked for at the end of this review. So let's get started. This segment is called my 1 minute summary. I've got a minute to summarize this film for you. It will be spoiler free, so don't worry, don't stress out about that. If trailers give away too much and you don't want to watch that, you've got the summary to know what's ahead of you if you do want to, if this film is something you would want to watch. Let's go in three, let's go in two, let's go in one. Wicked, let's start with this, is a musical. So if a musical is not your thing, maybe you don't watch this, but I think you should. Oh, that's my summary. Hey, it's about Glinda, the Wicked Witch of Glinda, the Witch of the North, and Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, and it's the prequel to Wizard of Oz. Yeah, so we're finding out how these two met, how the Wicked Witch of the West came to be, how Glinda came to be, and they're at school together and roommates at this boarding school together to learn magic underneath the professors of that nature, and then just from there, the adventures that they kind of go on, they obviously are two very different kinds of witches, and kind of just how they grow into being a witch. They're not even witches in it, right? They're just learning magic just like any kid does. They don't know that they're going to be these very popular witches in the future. That's it, a minute. I think that was okay. A little stutter here and there, but overall, oh well, good job. Overall, hopefully that was a good job. Good job, Aaron. Though. Sure, give myself a good job too, but I hope that was a good job for you. So that was my 1 minute summary. This is my 1 minute review. I'm going to tell you what I think about this film. I only have a minute to do it though, so this is not long-winded, and I'm not really getting too in depth, but just off the top of my head, just the thoughts that come from Wicked. Let's go. We only have a minute. Reset. In three, two, one. I loved it, y'all. This was so good. I'm not even a Wicked musical stan. I have some issues with it, but this was just Wicked Part One, just Act One, which is my favorite act out of the two acts. And so everyone was well done. Wow, Cynthia. Wow, even not even, but I didn't know Ariana Grande could do that. The direction, the scale of it, it just is so well done. They found a really great way to interpret a musical to movie. Maybe the best that's ever been done, to be honest. Like they really figured out how to do that in such a really well done way. It made me feel all the things. And right after I was like, this better be up for Best Picture. This should be up for everything. And if it's not, they're haters. They're haters because how can you not love this film? It just made you feel like you're watching like an old classic film, but for today. So, yeah, really well done. 1 minute right now. Now it's time for erroneous thoughts. And my erroneous thought for today is crying in films. Crying when you're feeling something in films, whether it be joy, sadness, was not cry. I think we all cried in this. And I think that it's more just why are people so ashamed that they cried in a film? Maybe they're not. But a lot of times I've seen like, I didn't cry, or and I know it's all for humor and jokes, but I think that shows such great empathy. Like that's the part of film that should make you feel so much because it's a window into someone else's world. And this film is about that, right? To see the story from a different side. We can really easily villainize someone, but look at how they became the villain, as well as looking into politics about who we have as our leaders. It had such great commentary about animals, right? And people that are different, living beings that are different, and how we treat them. There was just so much that when I see that people cried, I'm like, there's humanity in the world still. Like, this film should make you cry. And maybe you're not a crier, so you don't easily go there. So I'm not saying you have to cry, but if you did cry, or if you did feel that empathy, if you didn't cry but felt that immensely, I just wish we would cry more. Crying is so freeing, it's letting go. And Cynthia, I didn't say this in my review, but Cynthia, geez, so well done. So good. Defying gravity. We all know, right? Defying gravity. Okay, one more erroneous thought. Just kidding right now. This is a fresh one. I know that everyone likes to think they relate to Elphaba, and I like to think that I'm an Elphaba too. And we're about to find out who really is an Elphaba and who's a Glinda. And I don't think there's a right or a wrong. I think that we all want to pretend that we're not Glinda, but most of us are Glinda. We're going to go with the crowd, maybe to get ourselves higher up, maybe like a Glinda, we try to use that for good. That's very possible. But there's very rare a person who actually is an alphaba who's going to like press against the system and to great lengths. And I think that we all have that within us. I'm not saying that we're not an alphaba, but I think people say, like, I'm so alphaba. But are you really, girl? Are you really? Because most of us are probably Glinda. That's what makes alphaba rarity. Now, I hope we become more alphabas. We're going to need more alphabas coming up. Um, and we're going to need some Glindas to go into the system too, right? Again, nothing is right or wrong, good or bad, just different ways to affect change. But I just think that we need to kind of acknowledge that we're probably all a lot more Glinda than we are Elphaba. I had the whole, after I saw the musical, thinking I was Elphaba for so long, and I think I am to some degree, right? I am. But we all don't want to admit how much we are Glinda. That's the part I want to say is like, oh, we got to embrace our Glindas too. We all have it. Now it's time to say if it's for me or not for me. And I think we know this was a for me. I haven't been like a stan who's like, I can't wait for Wicked. I can't wait to see it. And I love musicals, but I just never been like that person over Wicked. Defying Gravity in certain songs, absolutely I am. Wow. So, so good. It changed my mind. It changed my heart. It made me think differently, made me feel differently. It made me question myself, think about myself. So I think that everyone should see this film. And you may not love it, but I think there's no way that you don't like it or get something from it, even if it's not your kind of film. I think it's for me. I think it's for everyone. And now let's talk about the Oscar nominations for this film. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, I would nominate it. It got them completely right, right? Obviously, the production design. Obviously, the costume design. Yes, the score. Yes, I think it got nominated for score. Maybe it did it. But yes, like adapted screenplay, I think it got nominated for 10 Oscars, which it deserves. And I would nominate, obviously, Best Actress, Cynthia. Obviously, Best Supporting Actress. Come on now. Why I don't like when that is an actress. They share this film. Sure, Cynthia steers it a little bit more than Glinda does, than Ariana does, but it's interesting that they put it in supporting. But yeah, she deserves a nomination. What I want to talk about is that they did not nominate John for director. I'm sorry. If you're nominate 10 nominations for all of the production, editing, costumes, the director brings that all together. There's one person that's at that helm, and then obviously he has help and stuff that like it trickles down, but like the vision comes from this one person. How do you not nominate for director? It's a wild concept to me. So what a snub there. And I really feel like they're not going to let it win anything because they have a part two coming up and they'll get part two, all the accolades, and then he'll finally get his nomination. They got it right. 10 nominations. I would just make it 11. Put the director on top of it. I hope you enjoyed this Aaron's review. If you liked it, like it. Like the video right there. You just press the little button. See you viewing. Now just go press that button or press that button. Just like it. It helps. Comment if you'd like. I would love to hear other people's opinions about the video I make, about the movie itself. I love to have communication. Yeah, we all need a little more communication. Try not to send hate. Some people do it, and I get it's going to happen, but who needs that right now? Send more love. if you can, or criticism. I can take criticism, critiques, but hate is a different thing. And if you can't subscribe, I'm doing all these films. I'm doing other reviews. I'm dancing all around on my channel. So subscribe if you can. Happy award season.